Christina, the host of Women Getting Visible. Who will be up next in the golden chair? Attorney, podcaster, author, journalist, and TEDx speaker, Maria Olsen. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Women Getting Visible. I am so lucky to have with me today the amazing Maria Olsen. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Christina.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Let everybody know where you're calling from and a little bit more about you, because you do so many amazing things.
Someone argued that is ADD, but in any event, I'm an attorney in Washington, D.C. I'm also a podcaster of the Becoming Your Best Version podcast. I'm an author, a TEDx speaker and public speaker, a journalist, and a mentor to women in recovery.
Wow, that is so amazing. Again, I don't know how you even made 30 minutes to come on for this live. So on your visibility journey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most visible, where do you see yourself?
I would say I'm at about a 6 right now because I've worked really hard to increase my visibility. I have lots of different platforms. After I turned 50, I became a public speaker in earnest. I got a TED Talk, my first TEDx talk, and I have a second one coming up in October 25th. And I write a lot about many different issues, primarily about women in midlife. And I've published now 6 books, and I have a contract for my 7th book, which will be published by Bloomsbury in 2026. So I have worked really hard, and I publish every day on social media to keep growing my platform. So from the time I got divorced, sober, became an empty nester at age 50, I made a concerted effort to increase my visibility, and it's working.
Well, you sound way more like an 8.9 on the scale with the TEDx talk, with all the books and your social media, because I get to see, your posts on LinkedIn about your podcast that comes out, and I just love watching everything that you're doing. And you were also recently on CBS Sunday Morning. Tell us about that.
Oh, yes, that was an unexpected surprise. And I think it was the product of continuing to build my platform, because I did not seek being on that show, but a producer found me by Googling bucket lists. And I talk a lot and write a lot about using our time intentionally, because none of us knows how much time we have. And so that producer reached out to me from New York, and they came to my home here in the Washington area and interviewed me, and it was thrilling. And it was actually aired twice because it was a pretty popular segment on bucket lists. And I've been really thrilled with the feedback I've received about it.
What a fortunate phone call to get and going, oh, wait, I'm going to be on national television. Amazing. And it's a beautiful piece because you're riding hot air balloons in that one.
Yes, I was able to. Well, they asked for footage, and I'm really lucky that I do take video and pictures of almost everything I do. I love travel. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I keep pretty much a video journal on my social media platforms.
And you have a goal with that also, don't you?
Yes, I have visited 71 countries, and I hope to visit 100 in my lifetime, and maybe all of the countries if I'm lucky.
Oh, that's just a dream come true for me, who is also a traveler, but I have not have the stamps on my passport that you have.
Well, you'll get there.
Day by day.
That's right.
So what was it that kind of made you decide to enhance and get visible with your life and your work and everything that you're doing?
Well, nobody's life is without big T or little t trauma, or at least challenges. And I have had a fair amount of challenges in my lifetime. And well, my mother was an immigrant from the Philippines, and she came to this country, married a white American, and I was the only brown person in my class. Then they got divorced, and I was the only kid in Catholic school with divorced parents. And I felt so other than, and I denied my uniqueness for so long. And I was also the victim of childhood sexual abuse and rape as a teenager. And all of these things were secrets that I felt kept me sick. And then after I went to rehab and learned that unless I process the traumas, that I was not going to be able to move forward fully. So, writing and speaking about my issues has always been healing for me. And when I wrote my most popular book called 50 After 50 Reframing the Next Chapter of Your Life, every time I talked about it, people would come up to me and say, I can't believe you talked about that. You said it out loud. And I was able to help so many women who felt like they couldn't be vocal about what happened to them. So I knew that I was helping others. And so I continued to build on that platform. I spoke at the National March to End Rape Culture. I continue to counsel people one-on-one or meet with people after my presentations to try to help them. So I saw that I could be a force for good using my own experience to help others. So I'm going to continue to do it for as long as I'm able.
Which is incredible, because something like that happens, the rape, is one of those things that makes you want to be invisible, and that fear of what did I do wrong, or how am I going through this? But then to be able to come through it gloriously like you are, and to stand up, not only for yourself, but let other people know that it's okay to be visible again. You don't have to hide. And it's not a shameful thing, because it's not something you asked for, is incredible. So congratulations for like being ahead in a figure for those, that in itself. I can't imagine.
Well,
So
thank you. I also credit people in the public sphere who have come forward within the Me Too movement and been public about their experiences, because if they don't, then it won't empower others who don't feel as powerful to come forward. So I felt that putting my voice in the game was important as well, because I have marginally more exposure than others, and I will use my platform for public good.
fantastic. And again, congratulations for all that you do.
Thanks.
What are some of the biggest learning experiences that you've had when you've put yourself forward in situations where you're speaking on the stage, or speaking on podcasts, or even your own podcast? Your journey about your visibility. What have you learned the most?
Well, there's a lot to learn about publishing books, because there are different publishing platforms. You can self-publish, you can do a hybrid publishing situation, or get a traditional publisher, and all have pluses and minuses. So that was a steep learning curve. And in fact, I do have a side business helping female authors with book publicity and marketing, because it's not rocket science, but it just takes a long time to figure out all the what's most effective and what you have the bandwidth to do. I also learned that we all have a specific bandwidth and it varies. And so don't compare yourself to what others are doing. Honor your own energy, honor your own healthy boundaries. And I've also learned that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. So sometimes I know I'm not supposed to read the comments on articles that I get published, but I do. And sometimes it hurts to see some criticism. But more often than not, when somebody criticizes you, it has to do more with them than with you. So that was a hard lesson for me to really accept. I also learned that it's a long game, that nobody gets famous, for want of a better word, overnight, that it's typically step by step. You build your credibility, you build your stable of accomplishments and your portfolio of written material, and then you keep building on it. I've also learned that collaboration can greatly increase your exposure, so that if you have a specific platform and you know of someone else who has that platform but who has more followers and more visibility, reach out to them and see if they would be willing to collaborate with you, or even tag them to begin with, to see if you can get noticed by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it because, again, we belong to one of the same groups of wonderful ladies who are all supportive and who love to post and who applaud each other for what they're doing. And I really love the idea of the collaboration because, when you get to know people, they'll know me, like me, trust me,
Yeah.
it really does make a difference in what can happen in that opportunity. Tell us a little bit more about your podcast. How long have you been running your podcast?
It's in its 5th year, and it is called Becoming Your Best Version. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and the other major platforms. And because my work in the realm of women in midlife brought me into contact with so many inspiring women who inspired me and I think will inspire other people, I wanted to raise their visibility. And so I reach out whenever I read about a woman who's inspiring or meet one, or more often than not now, their publicists reach out to me. And I put them on my platform because I want their messages to be heard. And traditionally, which is why I think you're doing this important conference, women were not as visible as men. And so I want to be part of the solution in evening the playing field and bringing to light people who have inspiring messages for others. So my podcast is heard internationally, and it's been kind of a selfish endeavor because I get to plumb these women for their wise words. And the only consistent question I ask of each guest is, what do you do to become your best version? And I've never gotten the same answer. So I have this library of tips on how to live your best life. And every 2 years, I put the answer to that question into an ebook and share that via Amazon as well, so that people can just read the cliff notes of what these amazing women said they attribute their best life living to. So it's been a great ride. We'll do it for as long as I'm able. Podcasting is not that hard. I mean, you can make it more complicated with bells and whistles, but I just record Zoom half hour. I don't edit. I put it right up onto Spotify and they distribute it for me. And since I reached a certain level of listeners, they actually give me a little bit of advertising income. So it's been a great and easy way to bring visibility to women. And if you have a story, anyone who's listening, that is inspiring, please reach out to me on my website. There's a contact link.
Terrific. And I will make sure that we will have that link in all of our show notes below. I'm so excited about that. And tell us more. If you had to answer that own question of becoming your best self, what would that be for Maria?
Oh, no one has ever done that, Christina. Good on you. It's multifaceted because I had to heal my own trauma first. I had to stop pretending that things didn't happen in my life. And because I realized that not dealing with my trauma was like holding a beach ball underwater. It took a tremendous amount of emotional energy, and it would pop up at unexpected times if I wasn't vigilant. I learned that it is important for me to surround myself with encouraging people who inspire me and to limit my time with energy vampires. And some of those people can be in one's family, but that doesn't mean you have to say yes to everything. I learned that no is a complete sentence, and that saying no to myself, to someone else, can equate to saying yes to me. More often than not, instead of saying no, I'll say I have another commitment, and I'm under no obligation to tell others what the commitment is. And the commitment can simply be to replenishing my own energy. So those were really important lessons for me that I continually check in with myself to see if I need more self-care. I practice a lot of methods of self-care, which include spiritual self-care, emotional self-care, social self-care, physical self-care, and mental self-care. I continuously strive to learn new things. I think that It's important for our brain health to continue to stretch ourselves and learn new things. I am semi-fluent in Spanish and will continue studying Spanish probably for the rest of my life. I also think that helping others helps us get off of the pity pot and helps us make the world a better place. So I will never stop attempting to help other people. And I guess those would be some of the ways that I strive to become my best version.
That's incredible. Again, I'm just going to sit here and like, oh, okay.
I'm thinking about a question you asked 3 questions ago about when we talked about collaboration. I do want to mention, because I'm so proud of him, that my son is a social media influencer with more than 20 million followers across platforms. On TikTok, his name is Chris, and on Instagram, it's Chris Olsen. And he gives seminars at colleges and elsewhere about how to increase your platform. And he speaks often about collaborating. He is now best friends with pop star Meghan Trainor, and that came to be because she commented on one of his TikToks. And so they started DMing one another and collaborating. And that increased both of their social media followings tremendously. In fact, the New York Times did an article calling my son a TikTok savant and crediting him with reviving Meghan's career in part. And so that was a beautiful collaboration, continues to be, between the two of them. So I took the hint from him and started reaching out more to women in my sphere of influence, and have increased my visibility and other people's visibility in that way.
And what's the biggest tip that he gave you for your visibility?
Well, he doesn't really give me any tips. I just try to learn from him by watching him and listening to his interviews. Let's see, what are his tips? I know that the young people make fun of my use of technology because we are digital immigrants. They are digital natives, and it comes so naturally. It's so intuitive to them and not to me. So my daughter, for instance, did my website because I was hopeless at trying to do that. My website didn't look so great. So she did a whole new website for me. I think the biggest tip I took from him was to collaborate. He also gets a lot of terrible posts from haters, and watching him go through that really hurt my heart. But I saw him emerge stronger on the other side, and I am grateful for his resilience. And he has posted that hurt people, and I took that to heart. And when someone tries to hurt me, I try to have compassion for them and think that they must be hurting also. So I guess I have indirectly learned resilience and perseverance through my son, because he's undergone a lot of backlash for that I thought was unwarranted, and he continues to shine, and I'm really proud of him.
Congratulations to you as a mother and to Chris for everything that he's been able to do. You know, it's funny, but it's absolutely true that the hurt is the hurt, and that comes from such a place. And here's the other piece. Those people enjoy being invisible because they can be the digital warriors out there saying things to you and won't come out until they actually meet you face to face. And then it's like, oh, you're a real person. And like, yeah, I'm not just a, image on a screen. I'm not AI.
Yes, true. That's all true.
Yeah. And I was your TED Talk had to do with your sobriety, didn't it?
In part, yes. It was about turning life's challenges into a force for good. And so it's actually pretty much a summary of my book, 50 After 50, Reframing the Next Chapter of Your Life. And it talks about how my life challenges became a springboard to becoming a force for good in the world, like becoming sober. I now help to mentor other women in sobriety. Processing my sexual assault and abuse, I now help other women who have gone through those things. I write about and talk to other divorcees about the challenges that arise after divorce. I help other female lawyers with the challenges that arise from being a lawyer. So I have tried to turn lemons into lemonade, in that every single thing that happened to me that was negative wasn't something I wished for, but I was able to turn every single one of those things into something good in the world because I can help someone else who's suffering.
That's so, again, amazing. What legacy would you want to leave if you had to leave behind today? And I don't mean it in a bad way. Just like, what would Maria say about her life and what she wants to leave in her visibility legacy?
I would like to be able to say that Maria made the world a better place because she was here. I would like to say that I taught my children resourcefulness and resiliency and strength. I would like to say that I used everything at my disposal to make the world a better place. I used my time, talents, and treasure to enhance the quality of life for other human beings on this planet, and that I was kind and spread love.
That is so beautiful. And I'm certain you're leaving that legacy through your children as well, because of the things that you have gone through in your life that, as mothers, we can give our children even better lessons of how to live a glorious life.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us what's next.
Yes, I just got a second TEDx talk, which will be at TEDx Warrenton on October 25th. And the subject will be DNA test discoveries, what to do before and after you open the Pandora's box of consumer DNA tests. Because at age 53, I took a DNA test and determined that the father who raised me is not my biological father. And my story is a crazy one because my biological father, who it took a year for me to find, turned out to be an actor on the big and small screen who didn't even know about me. I'm the product of a one-night stand. I'm also someone whose mother is from the most Catholic country on the planet, which is the Philippines. And I discovered that I'm half Ashkenazi Jew. So through my father. And so there aren't very many Jewish Filipinos in the world. In fact, if anyone's listening and knows of one, please contact me because I'd like to talk to that person. So I will talk about, both from a sociological standpoint and a legal standpoint, what you should consider before and after you take a DNA test, because there are legal ramifications and privacy ramifications. And I want to share tips on what to do before and after you take the test. So that's big. And then a book on the same subject, as I mentioned earlier, will be published in 2026 about consumer DNA tests, because that is something that completely upended my world. I wasn't expecting to find out anything earth-shattering. I didn't even buy this test. It was given to me for speaking at a conference that was sponsored by 23andMe. And I was completely shocked. So I want to help others with that big, potentially life-changing episode, and how to process it and navigate the difficulties. So those are the two biggest things coming up. I continue to do women's summits, and I'm excited to do Women Getting Visible. I'm so excited that it's in Washington, D.C., because most of the time I have to travel or do these presentations online. I love giving presentations, whether it's live or at nonprofits, corporations, book clubs. I just love the human connection aspect of it. And I love what you're putting together and how you include both a physical section or seminar that we can partake in, and that we'll have time to meet other amazing women. You've really put a lot of thought into the conference and giving us all opportunities to connect and collaborate and share our wisdom. So I'll also bring my books to share with anyone who's interested. I also am writing 60 After 60, Finding Serenity in Your 60s. And I will focus on that book after the DNA book is published. So you can learn all about me at marialeonardolsen.com. There are links to my TED Talk, my books, my events, everything at that website. And you can contact me through the website. I'd love to speak at your event, anyone who's listening, who's planning something. And Christina reminded me today, I need to have you on my podcast when you get some time after this conference.
Absolutely.
Or maybe before it, to publicize it. You let me know if you have time.
Let's do it.
All right.
So to tell anybody who's watching, listening right now, I'm actually at Podcast Movement in Dallas, Texas. So doing the podcast thing, meeting other podcasters. And I'm so excited that, both of us are on that podcast journey together. But I would love to be on your show as well. That would be fantastic.
Okay.
And let me just tell you, we have done 23andMe, and my aunt and uncle, but not my mother, have 1% Ashkenazi Jew as well.
Wow.
So I don't know how that showed up in the Philippine gene, because for those of you who don't know that, I'm also half Filipino. So that's another thing that Maria and I have in common. It's fantastic. And I'm so thrilled. And thank you for saying yes to joining Women Getting Visible in the conference coming up in October. Maria is going to be in the Health, Wealth, and Happiness. She's going to be Happiness, Be Seen, Be Heard in the authors, because if there's somebody here that we can learn from about being seen and being heard, it's from you, Maria. And thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Wonderful. Any last words other than marialeonardolsen.com?
marialeonardolsen.com. No, just join us October 10th through 12th, and I look forward to meeting you.
Terrific. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And thank you, Maria, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let me personally invite you to the Women Getting Visible show and conference October 10th through 12th in Washington, D.C. We'll kick off Friday night with our VIP reception. Saturday, we'll have powerful keynote speakers, incredible workshops, and networking opportunities. After the Back to Me session, you'll walk away with confidence on Sunday. Join us and get your visibility journey energized.